The Maui Daily Report took a few days off to focus on the election. And what happens? A hurricane, a historic water decision, 2 murders, one by a naked man, a possible crime boss working as a Maui police lieutenant, a clerical error put the future of a music group in jeopardy, and a new card game is for the birds. These stories and more right now. Aloha, welcome to the Maui Daily for Monday, August 17th, 2026. I'm Chivo Ching Johnson. As we all know, Hurricane Lala battered Hawaii this weekend before weakening into a tropical storm, dumping an average of 8 to 12 plus inches of rain across much of Maui, with heavier rainfall in other areas of the county. Then there were power outages. Wind gusts topped over 80 miles per hour in West Maui and in Kula, and at the height of Sunday morning's outages, nearly 29,000 Maui County residents were without electricity, including all of West Maui and portions of Central and South Maui. Upcountry Maui was hit hard with many large downed trees and limbs that brought down power lines and damaged poles. As of this morning, Hawaiian Electric reported 6,300 residents were still without power in the Haiku and Pi'iholo, Olinda, and upcountry areas. All state and county offices were closed today, as well as all public schools and libraries. East Maui water remains in focus today after the State Department of Land and Natural Resources took up the issue last Friday to hear Maui Pono's request to obtain a 30-year lease for the East Maui water system. The board unanimously rejected a proposal to move forward with a public auction for a 30-year water license that could have allowed Mahi Pono to divert nearly 88 million gallons a day from the East Maui irrigation system. Mayor Bissen has been fighting to gain control over the water to put it back into the hands of the people of Maui County. And here is a clip of last Friday's testimony.
I come before you today on behalf of the people of Maui County to respectfully but firmly ask you to deny item D7. For generations, the waters of East Maui have flowed from the mountains through our streams and across our islands, sustaining our families, our communities, our cultural practices, and agriculture. But the history of East Maui water is also filled with difficult and too often wrong decisions about who controls that water, who benefits from it, and whose voices are heard when those decisions are made. Today, you have an opportunity to help correct that history. I wish to be clear, this is not about choosing between public stewardship and agriculture. Mahi Pono is a critical and vital part of Maui's agricultural future. We respect their investment in our community and firmly support their commitment to keeping our lands productive, strengthening food security, and creating agricultural jobs. We are aligned in those goals. The people of Maui deserve the highest priority voice in how it is managed and assurance that decisions about its future are made in the long-term interest. The truth is, 30 years from now, many of us will no longer be sitting in the positions we hold today. But Maui's people will still depend on this water. Our farmers will still need it, our families will still need it, and another generation will inherit the decisions that we make here today. The people of Maui will not stop seeking a greater voice and greater responsibility in the stewardship of the water that sustains our home. That is why this decision matters. This is not simply about who manages the water for the next 30 years. It is about what we leave behind when those 30 years are over. On behalf of the people of Maui County, I respectfully ask you to deny item D7 in its entirety and work with us toward a long-term solution that honors the public trust and keeps the stewardship of this precious resource accountable to the people that it serves. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you today. Mom.
2 high-profile Maui murder cases moved forward in court last week. On Friday, August 14th, former MIL swimming champion legend Stoer pleaded not guilty to murder, burglary, and indecent exposure in the August 5th killing of the Sands of Kahana security guard Michael Dyer. Stoer remains held without bail and is due back in court this Wednesday for a mental health evaluation request. In the killing of 71-year-old Alfred Kylie, his sister testified last week at an August 12th preliminary hearing, describing the August 6th attack that prosecutors allege was carried out by Richard Ka'aubai and Jonathan Coco Kong after a confrontation over the couple's headlights. Both men are charged with second-degree murder, robbery, and assault, and are now being held also without bail. Maui Police Lieutenant Michael Vaitu'ulala, who headed MPD's Criminal Intelligence Unit, remains in federal custody after a judge denied his release last week amid allegations he accepted bribes to protect illegal cockfighting and drug operations and misused confidential law enforcement information. In response, MPD disbanded the unit, reassigned its remaining members to non-investigative duties pending FBI clearance, and launched internal and external reviews into whether others were involved. Vaitu'ulala remains on paid administrative leave and is accused, not convicted. Meanwhile, federal prosecutors corrected a major error in the complaint that had appeared to link Maoli frontman Glenn Awong as a suspected meth supplier, clarifying a mistaken Person 3 reference that should have mentioned Person 5, and that Awong is not suspected of drug dealing in the case. At a press conference last Wednesday, Maui Police addressed some of the top questions the media has been asking.
Lieutenant Michael Vaitu'ulala was a member of the Criminal Intelligence Unit since November 16, 2021, and was made acting commander of the unit under a previous administration. Lieutenant Vaitu'ulala was a trusted member, having been a task force officer for the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Over the 2-year period of the allegations, there were no changes in behavior, no increase in expense purchases or flashing of money by Lieutenant Michael Vaitu'ulala. The administration, as well as the rest of the MPD staff, were shocked with the allegations. The remaining members of the Criminal Intelligence Unit have been reassigned to non-investigative duties until they can be cleared by the FBI as having no criminal role in this investigation. Again, none of the members of the Criminal Intelligence Unit have been served a target letter in conjunction with this investigation. Per our Internal Affairs Commander, no officers or civilians at MPD have come forward with allegations involving Lieutenant Michael Vaitu'ulala or others he has worked with.
We at MPD take allegations of corruption and criminal acts extremely seriously. The arrest of an employee is deeply concerning. This agency will take a zero-tolerance, total accountability approach to this incident. We will conduct both an internal and external audit of what occurred, and we will implement every appropriate recommendation that results. The actions of an individual do not reflect the efforts of this department or the policing profession. We're going to deal with it one piece at a time. We're going to do everything we can to help with our partners and to move forward. We have an amazing department with incredible people. The men and women of the Maui Police Department deserve to have the ability to do their jobs and be protected. And that's exactly what we're doing.
Maui County's Board of Ethics says a proposed police commission investigator can be funded through the Maui Police Department without automatically violating ethics rules. But the arrangement raises concerns about the investigator's independence. The board unanimously recommended housing the investigator outside of MPD oversight and keeping investigative work entirely under the police commission's control. Members advanced plans for new conflict of interest disclosure forms and adopted recommendations clarifying ethics rules involving county employees who serve with nonprofits, and reported that its office will be fully staffed with 5 employees by September 1st. Maui police have identified the 2 women killed in an August 8th UTV crash near Halawa Valley Park on Molokaʻi as 19-year-old Shialyn Rapinoe and 20-year-old Trinity Napoleon Lima, both of Kaunakakai. Police say Napoleon Lima was driving with 5 passengers when the Polaris left its path, crossed Kamehameha the 5th Highway, and struck a tree stump, ejecting all 6 occupants. None were wearing helmets or seat belts. 4 passengers, ages 16 to 22, survived with non-life-threatening injuries. Investigators say speed and alcohol were factors, while possible drug involvement remains under investigation with no further information. Our hearts go out to the friends and families of these 2 young women. 2 Kihei brothers remain in custody on charges alleging they labor trafficked a man from Guatemala to Maui. Axel Kami Cahill, 31, and Brandon Kami Cahill, 35, were arraigned August 11th and pleaded not guilty, each facing 8 felony counts, including first-degree labor trafficking and extortion. Authorities allege the victim's identification documents and belongings were withheld and that he was threatened with harm if he refused to work. Bail remains set at $250,000 per brother, with first-degree labor trafficking carrying up to 20 years in prison per count. Services honoring former Governor George Ariyoshi have been scheduled for mid-September in Honolulu, including a lie-in-state state service and celebration of life. Ariyoshi was Hawaii's 3rd governor, served from 1974 to 1986, and was the state's longest-serving governor. He was also the first Asian American ever elected governor of any U.S. state. The University of Hawaii Community College System has been ranked 11th best in the nation by personal finance website Wallet Hub. The 2026 study evaluated systems based on cost and quality, including tuition, graduation rates, and student-to-faculty ratios. UH Maui College is one of 7 campuses statewide. The system offers more than 100 academic and career-focused programs. Hana residents Scott Crawford and Heidi Leah partnered with the Maui Nui Seabird Recovery Project to create Elele, a card game promoting seabird conservation. The Kickstarter campaign has reached 95% of its goal with more than 100 backers and runs through August 20th. The game features 20 Hawaiian seabird species and is similar to the game Go Fish. Players build seabird colonies and use conservation strategies to address threats such as predators, plastics, and light pollution. Each card includes Olelo Hawaii names and teaches players how they can help protect seabirds. Over the past 2 weeks, Maui Humane Society is celebrating 59 animals finding homes, 43 cats, 14 dogs, and 2 goats. The shelter also received 100 pounds of kitten formula from Orphan Kitten Club to help care for abandoned neonatal kittens, while one adoptable shelter dog donated blood to help save another dog. The shelter also marked the 3-year Lahaina fire anniversary by sharing the story of Pearl, a severely burned Lahaina cat who survived multiple surgeries and is now thriving, and even helping raise foster kittens. And now here is this week's Pet of the Week, Bodog. And that's it for today's Maui Daily. Mahalo for joining us. This is how we stay connected. Remember to check out Akakū YouTube. I'm Chivo Ching Johnson. Please pay attention on the road. Have a peaceful Monday night. And remember, keep smiling. Aloha.